Switching gears to Trey Blandford, tell us a little bit about him and what he brings to the defensive line.
Trey brings a physical presence. You know, he's really a guy that's played a defensive end, but as he grows, you know, we've recruited him. He's a future guy inside that I believe will be a heart and soul player. What I mean by that is any great defense starts from the inside, and so he's got a chance, I think, to be a very, very physical nose tackle for us. He's strong. You know, he lives in the weight room, and he just has that toughness that you look for in a defensive lineman.
What impressed you when you guys were reviewing his tape and recruiting him?
The thing that stood out the most in watching his tape is that he has got a great motor. And when we talk about a motor, it's a nonstop guy, a guy that just goes flat out every play, plays as hard as he can possibly play, and that's what we pride ourselves on around here on defense. Is we want to have great swarm to the ball, and that's what he has. He has an intensity about him, tenacity about him. He brings that effort in every snap you see on tape, and you know, I think that's what we always talk about on defense. Good things happen when you run to the football, and that's been the case for Trey this past year. He had an outstanding year, very productive, many sacks, he had a lot of tackles for losses, and that's because he played hard. And so that fires me up, you know, because he's a guy who plays with a great motor.
Excellent. Now, he's from Harrison City, Pennsylvania. You guys have a rich heritage of former Sycamores from Western PA. What's that been like? Well,
you know, we went in this past year. This is my first year here on the staff, and I found out the history that we used to recruit Western PA. And over the years, we've had a lot of great players, and we've got great alums that live over in Western PA. But there's been some great players from Pittsburgh and surrounding areas that have been in this program. And so we're back in there recruiting. I think it's as evidenced by this recruiting list. And Trey is a guy who comes from a great program at Penn Trafford High School. Coach John Rowan is his head coach, and you know, I just think that he's going to be one of the guys that's going to be a key as we move forward. You know, he can be like a Pied Piper, a guy that sets the tone. Hey, other guys will follow him, and I think because he's that type of a leader. But you look at the history we've had, great players from the Pittsburgh area. They know how to play football. They've raised up in a culture that loves football in the state of Pennsylvania. And as I have come to find out, is that there were some tremendous players that played here, Hall of Fame players that have played here. And so I'm excited about the future of recruiting the Pittsburgh area.
And Pennsylvania has recently, or not really recently, but just been a hotbed for high school football talent for a lot of teams.
Yes, it is. You know, you can look at the history of storied players in the NFL that come from Western PA. They talk about playing in the Whippeal, which is just a tradition of just great football, great coaching, and so it's exciting. And you look at the guys that come from that area, all they got to do is get on I-70 and go west, and you know, it's far enough that they're away from home but close enough to get home, and also at the same time it's also the opportunity for their families to come see them play in the Missouri Valley Conference, because all of our games are for the most part close enough for them to get there. So it's just been really well received this first year being back in there recruiting, and we're excited about the future being back in there.
Well, not only have you recruited in that area of the country, you guys have really focused on the area here in Terre Haute. What's been the focal point for recruiting this year?
Well, I think it's the focal point always. You look for outstanding young men with great character. You know, you look for people that players that have a desire to get a college education, and I think the student athletes that have the prospective student athletes that have visited here, they see what we have to offer here. First and foremost, as an academic institution, it's very impressive on the faculty, all the people that they come in contact with during their official visits. They've just seen that we really have a lot to offer, and they have a chance to come here and get a great education and play Division I football. And I think they see also where we're headed with this program, with the great season we had this past year with the wins, and with the returners coming back, that the future is very bright.
Well, we look forward to seeing Trey on the field next year. Thank you very much, Coach.